Channel's Week in Review. Fire on Israeli mountains, 42 are dead and blame is going around. Pop star Matisyahu gets in the boxing ring, debating Jewish ethics at the New York Times, and more of the Jewish news that's changing your world right now on this episode of the Week in Review. Hello, and welcome to the Jewish Channel's Week in Review. I'm Stephen I. Weiss. 42 people are dead in Israel after a raging forest fire devastated parts of the Carmel region over the past week, according to Israeli officials. Officials also say that more than 12,000 acres burned in the fire, and 15,000 people had to be evacuated from their homes. Blame for the size of the devastation is frequently being laid at the feet of Israel's fire and rescue services, which lack a national authority and can suffer from a lack of manpower due to firefighters being called up from military reserve duty. A national authority for fire and rescue was approved by a government vote in 2008, but has yet to be implemented. Meantime, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is hoping to share the load of firefighting by creating a regional fire and rescue service that would work with other governments in the region, such as Greece, Russia, Egypt, Jordan, and the Palestinian Authority. Blame for the fire itself is currently being pointed at a 14-year-old Israeli boy who reportedly was smoking hookah in the forest, dropped a flame and started a fire that quickly grew, then ran back to his school and didn't share the information with anyone. If you're looking for a lesson in ethics, the New York Times Magazine is eager to hand you one with Randy Cohen, who pens the column The Ethicist. He sat down with Stamford, Connecticut Rabbi Joshua Hammerman and New York Jewish Week editor Gary Rosenblatt to discuss how Jewish ethics apply in today's world, and Rebecca Honig-Friedman was there.
For most people, deciding right from wrong is a matter for personal reflection. But for speakers at the Ask the Ethicist discussion this week, discerning good behavior from bad is a professional endeavor.
And this is a growth industry, being an ethicist, being anyone who knows, because people are looking for a moral compass.
A New York Jewish Week community forum, the panel discussion at Temple Emanu-el in Manhattan, featured New York Times columnist Randy Cohen, whose column The Ethicist appears in the Sunday magazine, and Rabbi Joshua Hammerman, who writes the Hammerman on Ethics column for the Jewish Week, and also holds the pulpit at a conservative synagogue in Stamford, Connecticut. Moderated by the Jewish Week's editor and publisher Gary Rosenblatt, the panel centered on the different perspectives of the featured ethicists and the challenges of being an ethical arbiter in a public forum. Cohen, who has been writing the Ethicist column for the last 11 years, got his start as a comedic writer. So what are the ethics of being a professional ethicist who has no particular qualifications?
Here's the rationalization I worked out, that ethics is not a credentialed profession, like, say, medicine or plumbing, where there's an established body of knowledge all practitioners have, there's a test. Ethics presents a series of questions that every adult, I would say, especially in a democracy, has to grapple with. And I felt, well, I'm the surrogate for that person, just a regular person. I don't argue from authority, unlike, say, Dear Abby, who is a towering moral figure to her readers. All she has to say is, shoot the dog. And that's good enough for them. But I have to actually make a case why you should shoot the dog, which you shouldn't, by the way.
And while Cohen's arguments are based in secular values, he said he can't escape his Reform Jewish upbringing.
The kind of ethical training you get growing up, and in my case, it's Jewish ethical thought, does not leave you so quickly. I seldom write something with which my mother disagrees.
Hammerman, a pulpit rabbi, explained his approach to writing an ethics column from a Jewish perspective.
In a sense, I have to answer to a higher authority, although the New York Times is pretty high. But I don't, however, want to just give the stock Jewish response when I get a question, because it's got to be filtered through my own life experience. And sometimes I don't agree with the stock Jewish response.
Hammerman elaborated on this point in an interview after the panel.
Well, usually Jewish law speaks in more than one voice. So I'm able to pick a voice that I can understand and agree with. But sometimes we need to update ancient voices for current situations, and it isn't so much disagreeing as refining.
Both panelists noted that new technologies have posed some of the most difficult ethical questions they've faced.
Tons of internet stuff, and not just porn.
To hear more from these professional ethicists, tune into the full broadcast version of the Week in Review.
Thank you, Rebecca. A more unusual pairing of prominent Jews features pop star Matisyahu getting into the boxing ring. Orthodox Jewish boxer Dmitry Salita is preparing for his next fight and spent some time training with the singer, as Christian Needham reports.
Dmitry Salita is stepping back into the boxing ring, returning Thursday, December 16th to Roseland Ballroom to take on Mike Anchondo in a match broadcast exclusively on the Jewish channel. And TJC was there when Salita was paid a recent visit by Jewish reggae star Matisyahu, who brought his 2 young sons to Universal Boxing Gym in Queens so he could get a personal boxing lesson, one that started with the musician donning some larger than expected gloves.
This is the normal size. Like what you guys are wearing?
Not for a fight. This is small.
This is a 10. Yeah, about it.
Yeah, almost. Well, how much you weigh? Heavyweight shoes though.
I weigh 180, 170.
So your weight class, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
First came a lesson on how to properly throw a punch.
There you go. There you go. So, boom. There you go.
All the way. Extend all the way.
Extend all the way?
Yeah, extend it all the way.
Okay.
There you go.
And since he was wearing a t-shirt bearing the image of Maimonides, lessons in defense were simplified.
When you're ready to punch, you just open up the shirt.
You're gonna hit this man?
That's just defense.
Next came a lesson on proper footwork.
There you go. Slide in. Slide in, slide in. There you go. Good.
Finally, a lesson in combination punching, with Salita starting his pupil with slow alternating jabs and hooks.
Straight. Right hook. Over, around like this. Good. Excellent. So you do right hand, left hook, then you want to, because you're long, you step back and you hit with a jab. There you go.
Soon enough, Matisyahu is making quick progress.
I'll start with this one. Good. One more time. Nice. A little quicker. Just fast, not no. Excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Just bend straight down. All right. Okay. Good. Nice. You're ready, man.
And of course, there's an extra lesson on how a boxer should pose for a picture.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot, man.
Cool.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
You got a little power, man. No 1-2, man.
I don't know about that.
So what did Matisyahu learn from his time in the ring with Dmitry Salita?
If I ever got to get in a fight, I got to make sure Dimitri's with me.
And since Matisyahu will be at Salita's next fight, he had this message for Jewish Channel viewers.
Hey, what's up? This is Matisyahu. Come check out my friend Dmitry Salita on December 16th at Roseland Ballroom. I'm going to be there singing and cheering him on, and you should be there also.
Reporting from outside the Roseland Ballroom for the Jewish Channel, I'm Christian Needham.
Thank you, Christian. That's all for this week. From all of us here at the Jewish Channel, be well. The Jewish Channel is available on cable: Iowa Optimum Cable Channel 291, Time Warner Cable Channel 528, RCN Channel 268, Verizon Fios Channel 900, and Cox Cable Channel 1. For more information, visit tjctv.com.